everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Rene Plays Games podcast. This is technically a tabletop tutorial, and I am once again joined by my wife, Lynn. Hi, Lynn.
Hello there.
We're a few weeks late on this one. Sorry about that. It's a crazy month for us, just personally. Lots of family birthdays and just events to have to schedule around, but you're finally getting it. Dick Wizards.
You should tell them about this game and how I brought this game to you.
Yes, and it's actually, it's the most Rhode Island story for a game that's also set in Rhode Island, so it's perfect. This is Dick Wizards by Wolf Manzella, aka Weird Wolf Games, and oddly enough, I'd seen a few posts about it online because this was something that went on and funded during Zine month, which is February and is a huge month for indie TTRPGs for people getting physical print run copies. And so I'd seen a little bit about Dick Wizards on like Facebook groups and on social media and stuff like that. And I was like, okay, interesting. You know, you got to love the evocative title, right? But then in the most Rhode Island way, when you have a coworker who is either like related or like in-laws or something with Wolf.
Yeah, one of my coworkers, Laura, shout out. She was like, Lynn, you play like games, right? I was like, yeah, like what games are we talking about? Like video games, like tabletop games, like, you know, and she goes, yeah, like those. I'm like, all right, like tabletop games. And she goes, yeah, my brother-in-law made this game and you might be interested. And she tells me it's Dick Wizards. And I'm like, no, that's not like, I don't know. I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, I don't really like dick weird things. Like, I don't know.
And
like,
yeah,
I don't know.
And it's a work conversation too, like out of context.
I'm like, I don't know what he's like into, you know, I'm like not trying to judge it. And she's like,
indie games can be weird.
Yeah. And you know, everyone has their thing. That's fine, you know. And she's like, let me bring it in for you. I bought it for him. I wanted to support him and you can look at it, the physical copy. So she brings it in and I'm looking at it. First of all, the cover is like I love it. It's black with this like gold inlay.
Baphomet. It's Baphomet, like the devil.
I don't know who that is,
yeah,
but you know.
It's the horned, winged, hooved devil, Baphomet looking creature.
And it feels so nice in your hands. So I start reading it. The writing hooks me. The game style hooks me. And the best part, it's in Providence. I'm like, I'm just going to buy this. I'm not going to tell Rene because if he hears Dick Wizards, I know he's going to think the same thing. And it didn't even dawn on me what Dick Wizards meant until he actually started reading it. And I did read it, but like it didn't I didn't catch on. But let's spell it though. It's DICK. So you really think like, you know, a dick. You know what I mean?
Okay, we're talking penises. But yeah, yes.
Eggplant.
Okay. Yeah, so Lynn bought me, oddly enough, very nice. She bought me one of the special edition zines that has the black cover with the gold embossed Baphomet on the cover. And yeah, so Dick Wizards is a game of grimoires, gumshoes, and great old ones. It is about detectives. It is about apprentice wizard detectives in the city of Providence that are brought in to occult investigation, sort of Citizens on Patrol, it's called COP, City of Providence, Citizens on Patrol, but you are a wizard investigating Lovecraftian horrors and mysteries set in the City of Providence, which is where my day job is, and we are both from Rhode Island, so it is the city of our home state, so it is so perfect, and yes, a dick is a term for a detective from days of yore, so...
I love it. And he also sends a tarot card. It was just so sweet.
Yep, there's a little note in there, and there is a tarot card that went out with every one of them. We got, I believe, the Knight of Cups, I think. I'm using it as a bookmark, actually, right now. And we're going to be using your tarot deck that you are a big fan of for this game. So should we transition into talking about the game, or should we talk about the mechanics and then talk about your character? Maybe do that?
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay, so... For as strange and evocative as the title is, the actual game of Dick Wizards is a mystery investigation game, and it is not made for like one-on-one play, but we are going to do it this way. It is a game that you'd be playing with a group of players and a GM, but we can make this work with just Lynn. And actually the rules are written in a way that it doesn't matter how many players you have, because it's basically enemies and obstacles and things like that are scaled to the number of wizards in the party. So that is great design from Wolf, that it's scalable like that, as opposed to just these static challenges or something like that. That might make it difficult to play with different size parties. So it does have some familiar stats. They are strength, dexterity, constitution, intelligence, charisma, and kismet. Kismet is a stat that you don't roll for. It is simply just a meta currency that you will be using to basically prevent yourself from dealing with spell misfires. You'll be able to spend them before you roll for spells, or not roll, we'll talk about that in a second, before you cast spells, and each point of kismet spent will prevent one major arcana card from representing a misfire. However, if I ever ask you to roll any of those attributes, you rolled 1d6 plus 3 for each of your attributes. Go ahead and tell us what your character's attributes are. We'll get into the names and stuff like that. We'll actually go over it. It's a d12 roll, and you're going to want to roll under your attribute number. Tying is a failure, which is different. Normally meets beats, so this is a little more punishing in that regard. And then spells don't actually roll. You're just going to tell me what you're attempting to do with your spell, and we're going to flip cards from the top of the tarot card deck. And if we flip all minor arcana cards, your spell is a success, goes off without a hitch. If there is a major arcana card, there is a complication or a misfire. 2 major arcana cards will be a failure, and if you flip one of 3 major arcana cards, in death, the devil, or the tower, something really bad happens. So we've already made your character. Why don't we go through the process, and just so people can hear how it goes, we'll do it very quickly.
That's fine, but I'm not saying my stats. I want it a surprise for you all, because I'm going to give you a little foreshadow. They're not good.
They're not. This is true. They're not the best stats. You do have one very good one, but all right. So character creation is 10 simple steps, and they really are 10 simple steps. They're not 10 steps that take an hour and a half. The first is just kind of conceptualizing your wizard, and you can either roll dice before or after. To do it, you're going to roll 1d6 plus 3 5 times to get 5 numbers, and then assign those to your stats. So again, strength, dexterity, constitution, intelligence, charisma, and kismet. You don't roll for kismet. Everyone just starts with 7. And then based on your highest attribute, can you at least give us that, Lynn, without your number?
Intellect.
Oh, that's funny. The character sheet says intellect, but the book says intelligence. That's fine. So yeah, your int is your highest stat. And based on your highest stat, you get a bonus to rolls with that. So that's pretty cool. I like that a lot. And they are pretty interesting. Since yours is intelligence, we'll tell everybody at the end of each scene, you regain 1 kismet back up to your max of 7. That's actually really great. You can cast spells with a little, or you can use kismet with a little less worry about running out of luck. Then the next 10 steps are really kind of just like rolling on a bunch of D66 tables in the back of the zine, which is so cool. You can just pick stuff, but obviously we rolled for a lot of stuff. So 1 is your starting equipment and money. So you started with 1 unique starting item, which was...
My talisman you're talking about?
No, this was your unique starting item, which I believe... Did we roll this one?
Oh, the occult accessory?
Nope.
Oh.
Why don't you roll me 2 D6 right now? We're going to roll a D66.
Oh, snap.
We didn't do this one.
64.
64 or 46. So I'll let you choose which one you want. A covert listening device, like a bug that you can put somewhere, or a tube of super glue.
Oh, a tube of super glue all day, dude. What is this supposed to be?
Oh, actually, this was your vial of holy water.
Oh, yeah.
Was. So we already did roll this.
Fine.
So do you want the holy water or do you want the super glue? I'll let you choose now.
No, this is already, I got it. It's the holy water.
Okay. There is money involved. I don't know when this is supposed to be taking place, but you do have a cell phone. You always have these things. You have a small pack, an electric torch, which is just a flashlight, a city-issued flip phone, a COP, Citizens on Patrol, not City of Providence, badge, and a towel, which I like to believe is a Hitchhiker's Guide reference and a very good one. Then your weekly paycheck is only $300. So I don't know where these wizards are living in Providence, but that's fine. And then...
Is this supposed to be like right now?
I think so.
Wow.
I'm basing it on right now. Then there is food, which is you basically roll once to see what kind of food you have on hand because you need a belly full of food to cast spells. What was the food that you got?
Oh, this is what got me through college. Sour gummy watermelon candy.
Oh, yeah. I remember when you rolled that. We were like, oh, dead on. Then there's style, which, again, you are encouraged to come up with yourself. But we rolled just for fun because we love tables. And your style was...
King of Pop. I wear a red leather jacket. And I'm going to say black leather pants as well.
Very cool. So Michael Jackson, but I think that you probably look cooler than a dude rocking Michael Jackson look in the modern day. Your occult accessory is an item you've been carrying for as long as you can remember. You don't know what it does, but you may unlock its secrets through play. What is your occult accessory?
A fossilized heart of a succubus.
A succubus. Yes, a sex demon, basically.
Ooh.
They tempt men, and then incubus is the male version.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yep, they tempt men. And then, yeah, so if at all, we did flip a card when we made your character, and we flipped one of the tarot cards, and we noted that card down. If during play we flip that, you're going to figure out and unlock the power of your occult accessory. Do you want to tell people now, or just let it be super exciting if it comes up?
I'm going to wait.
Okay. Then you chose your School of Magic. There are no official spell lists in Dick Wizards. It is very narrative and freeform. You can kind of just make up whatever you want, and based on the intention or the intended effect of that spell, we determine whether it's a 1-card, 2-card, or 3-card flip to determine how complex and dangerous it is. But there are 6 schools of magic. They are not the traditional D&D schools, although there are a few familiar ones. There is necromancy, enchantments, conjuration, transmutation, apothecary, and demonic hacking. And you surprised me with your choice. What'd you go with?
Transmutation, baby.
Yeah, changing one thing into another. And then it ended up working out really well based on your previous occupation, which we'll get to. Not yet.
So good.
The next one is your vice, which is the way that you will recover mind points. Oh, we forgot to go over this. Every wizard has 3 life and 3 mind points. You can never lose more than 1 at a time, which is, again, I think very good design for keeping characters. You can take a huge hit, but it's only ever going to be 1 of those life or mind points, and you'll passively heal, or you can get healing by paying money to heal your body, but mind points, you need to indulge your vice. What was your vice?
Arson. I like to start fires.
Yeah, terrifying. That's not a very safe vice, but yeah, so you like to start fires.
I mean, it can be controlled.
Sure. Then there are talismans, which are 1-use protection from spell misfires or mutations. So if you roll on like a magical mayhem table, you can resist the effects by using your talisman. What was your talisman?
A lucky rabbit's foot.
Perfect. Very on brand. And then you have an arcane focus, which is what you use as a conduit between you and your magic. There are some really cool examples, like in this little blurb of text, but what did you roll on the table?
A deck of tarot cards.
Very fitting. Very perfect. All right. So your red leather jacket clad wizard, apprentice wizard in the city of Providence rocks some tarot cards with some Sour Patch gummies. Well, some sour watermelon.
Sour gummy watermelon candy.
Yeah, that.
I feel like we should have had a bag right here. And
so you could have been eating them the whole time?
And like have some little ASMR while doing this.
Yeah, I don't do ASMR. And then last is name your wizard and discover their previous occupation. So you rolled a D66 and got maybe the wildest one.
Chainsaw ice sculpture.
Sculptor, yes. You are a chainsaw ice sculptor, which I didn't even realize was like a paid job. So maybe you getting $300 a week to work as an apprentice wizard is a huge
I mean, that takes talent.
It does take talent.
I took a class in
you took
college
a class
that was like
in
a elective. No. It was like you had to
Just
put like
sculpture.
stuff inside of a thing, and then I couldn't do it. I'm not gonna lie.
Like pottery and sculpture.
It was really bad.
So, fun fact, you don't just roll for that randomly. If at all you feel like your previous occupation presents an opportunity for you where you would benefit from the skills learned from that for an attribute test, you can petition me to roll that test with advantage, which would be roll 2d12 and use the lower number. So that's pretty funny. Okay. Other than that, we'll go over how to cast magic later. Really, it's simple. You just kind of tell me what you want it to do. Then you must name the spell and say it out loud. There's no like subtly casting spells. And then we flip the tarot cards to see if you flip any major arcana for misfires or failures. Now, there are some good limitations. I do like that for a game that's so freeform. There are limitations to magic, restrictions to what it can do. Like, you can't just charm people and tell them to tell you what you want or make them do things. Magic and manipulation of emotions does not work. Or at least, you're not taught it, right? You can't cast spells that have long-term or permanent effects. If you want to cast a spell and you have another one that is currently ongoing, you have to drop the first one. You can't just keep spamming the spell or any spell. To do that, you will become magic exhausted, and then you will need to recover or indulge your vice because you'll lose those mind points. And you cannot actually counter or dispel another caster's magic. It just doesn't work like that. Now, these restrictions do not pertain to monsters. Monsters can probably do a lot of that, and that's probably because you're not taught it, and it is like taboo, or, you're not supposed to do that stuff. So I think with that pretty much covers everything I want to go over as far as describing how to make a character and how to play the game. Other than that, I think we're just going to jump right in. How's that sound to you?
I'm ready.
Okay. Let's talk about Providence.
I don't really go to Providence. Let's just make that clear.
Yes, you actually dislike cities a lot.
I like Handle. I did my internship at the hospital, but that was it. I went and left.
Yeah, you rode your like 2 roads that you needed to get in and then got out. I work in Providence, like right in the middle of Providence. So, and I don't spend a lot of time in Providence. I did in my teens and 20s playing a lot of music there, but it's a very different city than it was when I was a teenager. So, yeah, I think I'm going to try and just, for those of you from Rhode Island or who have understanding or familiarity with the city, hopefully there's a few things that you kind of chuckle and say like, haha, I got that reference. And for those of you who didn't or don't, no big deal. You don't need to know Providence to enjoy this. I just wanted to highlight some local spots. And lastly, I think the only reason, that this is set in Providence is because of Lovecraft and the Cthulhu mythos that is sort of a backdrop for this game. Obviously takes place in New England, and Lovecraft was from Providence, so that's what you get. All right. Let's set the scene. Dear Citizen, thank you for completing the Citizens on Patrol initiative with the City of Providence. Your aptitude scores were exceptional. You're exactly what we are looking for. We noticed you possess a burning desire to create. This wellspring of creativity has always flickered like a flame in the back of your mind. It makes you the perfect candidate to become a wizard. The key to unlocking magic all around you lies in your creative energy. Magic itself is creativity. Creativity is magic. Magic is birthing an idea into reality with the power of your mind. Under the tutelage of Frank Armitage III, you will become one of the first wizards trained in nearly 50 years. To become a full-fledged wizard takes years. The City of Providence does not have the luxury of time. After an 8-week crash course at our secret training facility Xanadu Prime, you will be deployed as an apprentice wizard of the Cabal of Providence. To the citizens of the city and the police department, you'll be known as cops, COPs, or citizens on patrol. Citizens that have been hired to help remedy an uptick in bizarre criminal activity. You'll be assigned a handler, along with a team of other apprentice wizards, and you are encouraged to work with the police, but do not let them impede your investigations. The COP initiative is a union salaried position with full health and dental benefits, and a city pension. Good luck. The City of Providence is counting on you. Sincerely, Charlene Lesorcier, Director of Special Projects, City of Providence. We see Penelope Penny Black, the apprentice wizard, take a call on her flip phone.
That's me, by the way. I'm Penny.
Yes, we didn't say your name. Sorry. We see you in an apartment, just like in loungewear. You're sitting there. Maybe you're even scrolling on like your smartphone, and then all of a sudden we get the bzzz, bzzz of the flip phone that has been issued to you by the Cabal of Providence, or the Citizens on Patrol, the organization you have begun to be a part of. Now that you have opened your third eye and are casting magic and know about all of the things that lurk in the dark around the city. You answer the phone and it is your handler. And as always, they have kind of a voice manipulation thing on their end. And you just hear them say,
"We need you at Waterfire tonight. We are expecting spawn or some deep ones may be lurking in the Providence River. We need you to keep an eye on the river at Waterfire."
There's definitely something hiding in that water.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. That water's pretty nasty. Take it from me. And yeah, so we... Actually, to be fair, it has gotten a lot better. And it's yuck by Rhode Island standards, but we do have some of the best wetland regs in the country, so high five us. Anyway, so we see you throw on your red leather jacket and grab your backpack and all of the things that you carry with you, your tarot cards in your leather jacket pocket. We see you grab a bag of some sour watermelon chewy candies and all the other stuff. Your lucky rabbit's foot is like on a keychain or something like that, and out the door you go into Providence, and we see you start walking the city. The City of Providence is really a city of two hills separated by a couple of rivers that come to a confluence. It empties out into Narragansett Bay. You are heading down from your apartment. We're going to say you live on the Federal Hillside of Providence.
Nice. I go to OPA like every night. Dude.
Not the college hillside of like Brown and RISD and all that. And you are making your way to Waterfire, which is a very Providence tradition. It is literally just, there's like some gondolas straight from Italy, fun fact, that because Providence has a little bit of a mafia history, but they basically pull these gondolas down a very, very developed urban section of the river, and they light these baskets of fire in the middle of the river and light them up all the way down. They do a good little stretch of it, and there are vendors and, food trucks and just all kinds of good things going on to support the local folks of Providence. And so, yeah, you're there and people are doing their usual thing. They're drinking, they're buying food, they are, doing whatever they are doing, but your eyes are on the water. What are you doing? Tell me about Penny.
What am I doing? Okay. Well, it's dark outside. I'm wearing all black. I have like short black hair, bangs, that's my look. Choker on. I'm just like camouflage with the scenery.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking at the water. I feel like I go near someone who is juggling flames, or like, how they, what is that called? I don't know. Fire performer?
Yeah.
I go close to one of them so I can see the water lit behind them or near them to see like if I can see anything in the water or a rippling effect, because no one is in the
using
water.
The light. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I don't know what this would be. Probably a intelligence check, maybe to do a perception.
For sure.
Let's just get our first roll as you're kind of scouting out the scene. You're going to roll a D12, and you want to roll below your intelligence score.
I got a 7, which is below.
You succeed. So you're looking around and you're watching the water, and it is rippling. The lights of the juggled flame and the spinners. I forget, I forget what they're called, and I know a few people who literally do this, and so I'm sorry for the folks who do this if you're listening. But they're doing a great performance, and you do see the light dancing off of the dark waters of the Providence River, and you think for a second you might have seen something. But as you start to focus in and kind of lose yourself in it, maybe even like willing yourself to like enhance your senses to see if you can find something down there for just protecting the city, like don't want anything to happen or people to see, you feel that buzz again, bzz, bzz, in your phone, your flip phone.
I open it up.
You answer, and it's your handler once again, and they say,
Penny, you are the closest wizard to an incident, and we need you to get to the RISD end of the trolley tunnel that goes underneath College Hill. If you could get there quickly, we have just overheard disturbance in the tunnel. It's supposed to be used for buses only, but we think that something may have gone down there. People heard chanting.
I love it. I'm heading there now.
I think your handler says something.
I'm just like excited because I'm like apprentice, right? I'm like, I'm ready. I'm going.
Yeah. I think your handler probably even says something. They were about to just hang up like usual, but they're just like,
yeah, I don't love it.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
I got this.
So you make your way towards this tunnel, which we've walked by numerous times. It is a tunnel that it is only used for bus traffic. I think at this point, I don't even know if it's used anymore, but yeah. And you get to it. It is nighttime, so obviously water fire is happening, right? And I think that as you've made your way there, the sun has like fully gone down, and you can still hear the commotion from down at the bottom of the hill along the river. But you find yourself at the end of this tunnel, and you're looking in, and it is dark. There are police cars at the end of the tunnel, and their lights are on. They have started to cordon off this tunnel, and bus traffic is no longer coming in and out. And your handler, in the brief conversation we had but didn't say all of, let you know that they are expecting an outside expert to come in and investigate.
Well, they ain't got nothing on me.
Well, I think the whole point is you're supposed to walk up to them and say, like, show your COP badge.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm supposed to work with them, get information?
Yeah, I think that you want to... They want you to get in that tunnel and make sure they don't see anything they're not supposed to.
Sorry, I forgot.
Yeah.
Dick Wizard.
I'm
a detective.
Correct.
And a wizard. But people don't know that, right?
Correct.
Okay,
so,
I didn't realize that.
Yeah, so should I give a little context into how the occult works?
Like what I'm involved?
Well, so for the most part, the book does do a great job. There is a thing called the third eye, and basically you have opened your third eye, but most people do not know or don't want to know. And that's the whole point, right? I'll actually read this because I think that this is really good writing in here. It says, there are monsters, ancient artifacts, cosmic entities, and bizarre happenings in Providence. So why isn't anyone reporting it to the police or local news? It's because of the third eye. Most humans don't want to know what lurks in the shadows. They're content to consume, procreate, sleep, and obey. Mindless sheep. Whenever somebody witnesses the supernatural, otherworldly, or magical, their brain just recalculates the phenomenon to something mundane. A fireball spell? Nope, that was a madman hurling a Molotov. A cultist with tentacles slithering out of their hooded cloak? That's an ugly bearded hooligan or a drunk person frothing at the mouth. There's a small percentage of people who are able to open this metaphysical third eye. These people tend to be outcasts, weirdos, and those drawn to the strange and unusual. Seeing the unbelievable will merely confirm what they've always known to be true. They understand the world is filled with unexplained, dark, things that were not meant for the ken of human minds. That is you. So, the Providence PD are here, but you know they're about to be useless, right? Like they're like, oh, somebody went in there and they're not supposed to. Something bad happened. We're going to get in there soon with the team. But we were told to wait, and you're going to get first looks in there.
Yeah, I do.
So how does Penny proceed?
Where's in there? In the side of the tunnel or outside the tunnel?
So inside the tunnel, supposedly something happened.
Is there lights in the tunnel?
No.
I can't
Well, there's
see.
supposed to be, but it looks pitch black in there.
How about I use a spell?
Right in front of these police officers?
Well, they don't have this. Why do they have to see it?
I mean,
see me?
You walk in with your flashlight for a few feet and then use a spell to do the rest.
Yeah.
Let's get our first spell in. What's the spell you're going to use?
Like orb of lights.
Orb of light. Yes. So that is one of the apprentice.
I'm feeling all the things.
Oh, lights is plural.
Well, I'm making it plural.
Sure. I still think it's only going to be a 1-card flip. Do you want me to flip the top card of the tarot deck?
Yeah, you can flip for me.
So simple spells like cantrips, things that you'd use every day for utility, those are 1-card spells. So we're going to flip 1 card. As long as it is not a major arcana, you should be good.
Oh, I have to read it.
Sure. Do you want to read it?
Sure. 10 of Pentacles.
So you're good. That is a minor arcana spell. Your orbs of light kind of start to dot the tunnel and you can see. However, I will say I think that you're surprised at how much they seem to be being resisted.
Interesting. I make my way down. Do I hear anything?
I think, why don't you make another intelligence check?
You got it, dude. I got a 12.
That's bad.
Oh.
You don't hear anything, which is strange. And with a failure there, I think what's going to happen is you are going to be walking forward and suddenly all of your lights are going to go out.
Oh man, I still got my flashlight.
You do have a flashlight, and as you're reaching to grab it and click it back on, going back to the mundane methods of seeing in the dark, you hear a voice behind you. They send an apprentice. Pathetic. Abandon this investigation, wizard. If you value your life, you are out of your depth. Do you scream?
A little bit.
Okay.
Not like scream, like, ah!
Okay.
Jump.
Do you turn, point your...
Yes.
You turn and point your flashlight. You don't see anybody, but then you notice on the other side of the tunnel, there is a candle. And all it is really illuminating is a small corona of light. And what you see is a hooded figure. And they have a mask on. And it reflects, it kind of glows with a, like, bronze, maybe? Or gold mask. And they're just looking at you. And they're standing over a dead body.
Oh, snap. I want to run, but I don't. I turn to him, and I'm holding my card up that would blast a fireball at him, but instead, I just say, "Who are you?"
So you're holding the card up, almost intimidating.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I think that this person is not going to be intimidated by you at all. So we're going to go into combat. I need you to roll a dexterity check. So roll a d12. You're trying to roll under your dexterity.
2.
Okay, that is a success. So you get to act first. You see that they have a hand. It comes up. They're holding a candle. You can see their face. It's glinting off of their mask. And you see a dead body on the ground. You can't make much detail about it, but they raise their hand and they're about to put out their candle, so you won't be able to see them. And what do? You get to act first. So what is it you are doing?
Well, I still want to see. Is there something I could throw my fireball at to catch on fire? Like a rope that's hanging from the top of the tunnel, or...
Why would there be a rope hanging from the top of a bus tunnel?
I don't know.
If you throw a fireball, guess what? It will make a big light. But also, there are cops at the end of the tunnel.
This is true. I mean, free action is talking. Talking is a free action.
This is not D&D. You can talk, but they will disappear. It is your turn. You need to decide what you're going to do.
Okay, I'm stressed. Hold on. All right,
And you can always make up a spell, too. If you don't have something immediately available, but you want to do something.
I create fireflies. But they're like fireflies, and they stay alive. And I can see.
Okay. That sounds to me like a 2-card spell. Does that seem reasonable? You're going to light up this whole, like...
Yeah,
a big
I
area
am
of this
going to
tunnel.
transmutate pebbles on the ground into little fireflies so I can see what's going on.
Okay. I think that sounds like a 2-card spell, because it's not just like a simple cantrip. You are transmuting. That is your specialty. Do you want to spend any Kismet, or are you just going to flip 2 cards?
I'll flip 2 cards.
All right. Well, there's 1 major arcana, the sun, and that is the 5 of...
Swords.
Okay, so it is 1 major arcana, which is a complication. Your spell does go off, but you have a misfire. So I think that you do this, and a bunch of the pebbles in here start to rise, and they start to glow and move around like fireflies. What's a good complication for this, as this cultist is attempting to get away?
They don't last very long.
Why don't we... Do you want to roll on the magical magical mayhem table?
I love a table.
It's this might be a little too aggressive, but why
Tell
don't
me what to roll.
2d6, and let's see if it's a reasonable thing.
63 or 36.
63 or 36. 63 says chaotic energy surges out of your body. The wizard with the lowest kismet is electrocuted. Or 36 says wizard's mouth is zippered shut. Opening it is tricky and painful. You have to test your dex each time you speak or lose a life point.
I kind of like that. Let's do it.
You want to do that? You
Yeah.
go to do this, and maybe your mouth feels like it's just been like sewn shut. And now this cultist is up. We're going to do a combat. And so this is really fun. The way that enemies work in this game is really great. I've never seen a game that designs enemies like this, but I really like it. The GM does not roll dice in this game. They're called the fortune teller. The fortune teller instead has to design enemies, and they need to give them actions based on every suit of the tarot deck, as well as major arcanas, and they all have 1 special ability. So I'm going to flip a card, and we're going to see what happens. So the special ability of this cultist, who is a cultist of Hastur, says Aura of Ennui. The mere presence of these cultists saps a wizard of joy and happiness. Any wizard sharing a zone with the cultist of Hastur must pass a charisma check before they attempt anything on their turn. If they fail, the wizard is unable to attack on their turn. You're not that close to them yet, but if they close the distance on you, they're going to like drain away your life energy. I'm going to flip a card for the cultist, and we get, another major arcana, Justice. So their major arcana is the yellow sign. They use your firefly pebbles against you, and they move them in a way that they create a symbol that your brain sees and then immediately realizes it's not supposed to know what that is. Please roll an intelligence check.
I succeed.
You secede from the union. You succeed. And so I don't know how this works. This says the wizard has seen the yellow sign. They lose 1 mind point. It does say intelligence. I think that basically you have to roll to resist. I don't believe it says monsters will draw a tarot card equal to their threat rating. Melee attacks are quick, require a dex save. Sometimes it's a strength save. Yeah, so I think that these are saves, and you manage to save against this. You start to realize that they are making a sign that is going to mess with your brain. Okay? And it's going to sap you further of your magic powers. It is now your turn. What are you going to do in response?
I am going to cast Wind.
Wind.
And make the sign go away.
Well, you currently still are kind of in control of these pebbles. So,
Yeah. So, alright.
It could be a little bit of like a wizard control duel here. You know what I mean?
Alright. Yeah, I am trying to move them out of that position.
But you're going to, like, make it an attack? Or you're just dispelling them?
You know what? Yeah, I'll do that. I will make them go towards that guy.
The cultist?
Yes.
Okay, so any attack spell does flip 3 cards. Do you want to spend any kismet before I start flipping?
No.
You will regain at least 1 at the end of the scene.
No.
Okay, you're living dangerously. Here goes. If we flip any major arcana, there's a complication. If we flip 2, it is a failure. The Fool, you get another major arcana. The 9 of Pentacles, and the Empress. Lynn, you got 2 major arcana. You fail to take back control of these pebbles, these burning pebbles from this cultist who is now going to cast their spell or do their thing. The 8 of Cups. So their Cups action says spit tainted wine. You need to make a dex check as this cultist pulls out from under their robes a vial or a gulp of a goblet. Did you succeed?
No.
You failed. Okay. They take a sip of this and they spit it in a huge, like, spray of putrid smelling mist. And it overtakes you. And you kind of, like, put your hand up and close your eyes and cover your mouth. But it's just enough of that distraction.
My mouth is zippered shut.
That's true. Your mouth is zippered shut. Good point. It says here, you must spend your next turn attacking another wizard. However, you don't have another wizard to attack here. So, do we say you just forego your turn?
Yeah, probably.
Or do you want to do something else?
Maybe I try to unzipper my mouth.
Okay, yeah, make a dex check.
2. Yes, I succeed.
Okay, so you succeed in unmagic gluing your mouth together. And I think that in that bit of a moment, we're going to flip a card. Pentacles allows this person...
Wait, that's my card.
Why is this your card? Is it really?
Yeah.
The Queen of Pentacles is your card. You are going to unlock your occult accessory.
Which is a fossilized heart of a succubus.
What do you think this means?
It comes out and it tries to lure him into some...
Okay, that's actually a great point. Does this give you access to a new spell, you think? Or, like, do you...
I think the stone starts, like, glowing.
Can I throw out something very not media touchstone here? Like, this isn't Cthulhu-esque, but I almost feel like it's like Magical Girl transformation. Like, it's the heart of a succubus, and it's just like...
It's kind of like...
It's like, accept
that
me.
That show that everyone watches.
Yeah.
Thing.
Yeah. But you turn into, like... it says, like, be the conduit of my power.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I'm
Okay.
just a sexual freak.
Okay.
I guess. I don't know.
Well,
Is that what they do?
It doesn't have to... Okay, so it does not have to be that. But maybe what it does is it lets you tap into...
Charming.
Yes, exactly. It lets
Without
you break that
using
rule.
3 cards.
Right. It lets you break
I
the
like
rule that you
it.
cannot charm another character.
I charm it.
Okay. So I think let's make this a 3-card flip.
Fine.
Well, I mean...
I'm using Kiss it. Whatever that is.
Kismet.
Kismet. I've never seen that word before, ever.
It's like fate or luck. How many? 1?
No, 3. Let's do it.
You're spending 3 Kismet?
Oh, gotcha. No, I have 7.
You have 7. You'll regain 1 at the end of the scene.
Let's do 2.
Okay, so if we flip 2, this negates 2 major arcana for the purposes of failing. That is the 5 of Pentacles, the 7 of Wands, and the Queen of Wands. So you spent 2, you didn't need to, but that's okay. You're going to get 1 back at the end of the scene.
But if I had not have done it, I would have gotten all major cards.
Also, you cast a spell of charming someone, right? Through the heart of this succubus.
Yes.
You need to name the spell. We need to know what the name of this spell is.
This is called Baby Lips.
That's disgusting.
What? No, she just starts sweet talking out of my mouth.
baby lips, like a baby.
No. Like, don't they call like people who have like nice lips baby lips? Like, isn't that like something they like?
Okay, should I hit stop right now?
No. We need to discuss this.
I've never heard baby lips.
You never heard like, how's it going, baby lips?
I'm
not.
I'm a man, and I've never been creeped on by an old guy. I think is where you're coming from here. I think you've been creeped on by a few too many old guys, Lynn.
I don't know. Well, I'm calling it that.
Okay, baby lips it is. Okay, so what is the effect of this spell? We already said it's 3 cards, so it can be pretty powerful.
So when I like ask who are you?
This cultist unintentionally has to give you information.
Yeah, like who are you? What have you done?
Okay.
But I say it in like, who are you? And
yeah,
what have you done?
Oh, that was your seductive? Wow. Interesting. So I think that, you almost see this person not even realize, like, they can't help themselves but to say things out loud. And they, like, stop in their tracks and they turn to you and they're just like, she fulfilled her required need. She did what she needed to do, and now she was a liability. I was told to get rid of her.
Who is I?
My name? I am Vinny Cianci. But that's the only name you're going to get out of me. And you see him pull a dagger, and you wonder what he's going to do with that. I think actually, you know what? If you've got him charmed like this, I think he's going to... He pulls a ceremonial dagger. I'm almost wondering. If I flip swords on this card... I do, the 2 of swords. He's going to stab himself. Yeah, he kills himself instead of giving you more information.
Wow.
So now there are 2 dead bodies in this tunnel. And the cops are waiting for you to come out so they can do their thing.
I search his body.
Well, there's another body in here too. You search his body and you find that he's carrying nothing on him. He's in like a robe with a mask and a hood.
I take the mask. I put it in my backpack. The mask.
Okay, you're going to take the mask.
Yeah.
Put it in your backpack. Okay. Looks like a 20-something-year-old guy.
Remember the last time I didn't put a mask on?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I should have put a dog in this adventure too, so that way you could just ignore that the whole time. What about the other body? Do you want to search that one?
Yeah, I guess so.
You do find a RISD student ID.
Mm-hmm.
They were a student at RISD, which is a very good school of design here in Rhode Island, and her name appears to be Becca Kim, and she, so you like that one. You don't really find out much about her. Give me an intelligence check.
I got a 1. Does she have like a tattoo on her or anything?
So very close, actually. I think that she has a stamp on her hand that you would recognize as things that they put on people, like going into clubs and stuff like that.
What's the stamp of?
This is actually one that you are not familiar with. Maybe you are familiar. You got a 1 on your intelligence check. This is actually one that you are familiar with. This is a stamp that they give to people who go to like warehouse raves and like technically like illegal parties in like old abandoned mill buildings that are all throughout Providence.
Okay.
This is like an artist thing.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I got you, boo.
With a 1, you know where to go looking for this kind of thing. Do you go deal with the cops real quick?
Yeah.
You give them the information. What do you tell them about the guy?
Looks like some freak doing another weird thing.
Okay. Yep, you just kind of
probably some college.
Yep. Fling. So some romance gone wrong.
Yeah, or like hazing or something going wrong.
Hazing. Yeah. Okay. Good. Okay. Yeah, you kind of spin it again, like the third eye, right? Like they don't want to see anything unnatural happening here, so they're going to spin it to be whatever mundane, terrible thing, is justifiable to them. But you got to get somewhere else. It's getting late. The night is getting late, and you know that there is
It's perfect when it gets late.
There's only a few places, only a few big mills or where, mill buildings where people can get away with setting up big parties. So you're heading to Olneyville. Olneyville.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get myself some wieners while we're at it.
Yeah, get some New York system hot wieners. Yeah, absolutely. It's the original. 3 all the way.
Hairy arm. All right, go ahead.
So many people have no idea what you were just talking about. I feel like we should tell people, but
you gotta experience the sweat yourself.
If you ever come to Rhode Island, definitely find yourself a New York system and get a hot wiener. It is our version of a hot dog. Everywhere has their own hot dog. It's really good. Anyway,
it makes you stink.
It does. They are stinky.
So I go to Olneyville.
You're going to Olneyville, and you're looking for a warehouse artist.
What time of day is this right now?
I mean, at this point, it's probably pretty late. I would say, approaching midnight. Which is probably early even for these kinds of parties, right? But you were at Waterfire earlier. You've done a little bit of actual work investigating, and then dealing with the cops, then finding a ride. There aren't taxis. There are taxis in Providence, but it's not that big of a city, so
Uber.
Yeah, you can get an Uber or whatever. And you make your way to this warehouse. There's a lot of mills over there. You ask around about the stamp, and it doesn't take long. Actually, why don't you roll me a charisma, and this is going to be how quickly you can find out where it is you're supposed to be.
I'm not really that
charismatic
good at this. Oh, I guess I'm better than I thought. I blend right in. I got a 3.
A 3 under your charisma score. Yeah, actually, your charisma score is pretty bad. But you look the part here, right? You look kind of like a hard ass.
Scenester.
No one's gonna mess with you. You look a scenester. Yeah. You look at the artist type, where somebody would be like, okay, yeah, maybe they do something like that. And it kind of points you to these abandoned mills that are right along the Wonosquatucket River. It's nasty. They've tried to do a lot of things in there, but nothing ever sticks, right? And so there's a whole lot of these abandoned floors and lofts and elevators and all these things. And you can see up in the windows of one of them flashing lights, strobing lights, artist party, music blaring. Only a matter of time before the cops show up here to shut this down, but they're gonna let them do their thing because they could be doing worse.
I'm gonna transmutate my skin into that stamp on it.
Oh, clever. Okay, I think that's a low cost one.
Yeah.
So go ahead and mark your Kismet back up to 6, and then do you want to spend one here or no? You're flipping one card.
Yeah, I do.
Okay, so leave it at 5. And oh no. Kismet does not protect you from death.
No, I wanted to get into this party. I am not doing very well.
No, we've flipped a lot of major arcana in 15 cards.
Death is usually a good thing.
This is true. This is true. But the card does say death. Okay, so for the record, if you flip the Tower, Death, or the Devil, the spell does not work. A misfire occurs, and we reshuffle the deck with all this back in it. So why don't you go ahead and restart shuffling some of these cards back in here while I figure out a It says the spell does not work and a misfire occurs. So, oof, you don't even get the stamp.
Oh.
Yep, it doesn't work. Something's going to happen to your skin.
Oh no.
Should I look at the...
I'll just put a stamp on the other hand.
Should I look at the mayhem and just pick one, or do you want to roll 2d6?
No, no, I'm rolling 2d6.
Yeah, roll 2d6 to see what happens.
Yeah. 35 or 53.
Whoa. Okay, there's one here that's very appropriate. 35 says, all of your muscles grow to superhuman levels while your brain withers. Your strength becomes a 12. Your intelligence is lowered by 1d6. Or 53 says, your skin turns to metal. You are hard to hurt, but slow.
All of my skin, or just that one spot?
We'll say your arm from the elbow down.
How about my hand?
Your arm from the elbow down. You drew death.
Fine. Man, what am I gonna do? Oh, you know what? I got my glove with my King of Pop. I'll slide it on.
Oh my god, you have the one glove, the Michael Jackson glove? That's really funny.
I'm gonna slide it on my hand. No one's gonna know.
Okay. All right.
Except for my shoulder. I am going to try to transmutate
again.
the
other hand. Okay, go for it. Are you spending a kismet?
I was at 5. No.
Okay.
Whew.
The 10 of Swords. You are safe. You do get it on the other hand, which allows you to, as you walk through this warehouse, find the entrance and the staircase or what have you to get up to this party as you enter. And there's people that are painting. It's all, neon lights, all this stuff. It's a very cool, just vibe, right? Like just imagine the vibes. Great, sketchy. This is cool in your early 20s party, right?
There's like a bunch of I don't know, maybe like
again,
nude
performers.
people in the middle, and everyone's just like, I don't know, what do you do as an artist? I'm not an artist.
They're body painting. They are, experimenting. There's a lot of
maybe they're sculpting.
Yeah, maybe they're sculpting. Yeah, again, this is a place where a RISD student is partying. At least one. I bet you there's many of them who are doing things like this that are just kind of
some ice.
They're pushing. They're avant-garde. They're young. They're punk. They're revolutionaries. They're trying to change things. They're still very bold, right? They haven't gotten numb to everything from having to work and still try to create art and stuff and be creative. So you're at this party and you're trying to find out anybody who knows about Becca Kim. Now, that's going to be maybe hard to find somebody, but you can ask around. What do you think? You can cast a spell or you can use charisma.
I'm going to put the mask on.
Ooh.
As an artisty
I like
thing.
This. Yeah. So why don't you roll me charisma, but you get to roll with advantage because of this mask. So roll twice, take the lower number. You failed on both?
I failed on both.
I'm gonna use this as an opportunity to fail forward. Okay?
Wait. I can use my Lucky's Rabbit's Foot, right?
No, that is to resist. That's to resist a misfire, actually.
Ah, shucks. I gotta remember that.
Yeah. So if you wanted to do that to deal with your metal arm, you can do that.
No, I like my metal arm.
Yeah, and it's gonna wear off soon, right? But it's just kind of heavy at your side. You can't really use it for anything.
I feel like
you put the mask on.
That late 90s 2000s show where the Planet Earth guy flies up and they
Captain
all have
Planet?
Yes.
Why do you feel like that?
Isn't he made of metal?
No.
Oh. All right, never mind. I remember it wrong.
Captain Planet is not made of metal. Okay, anyway. You're struggling to find anybody in here who knows anything about it. And actually, you know what? We're going to let you fail forward here. I think that you think the mask is a good way to seem artsy, right? To seem like you're pushing the envelope, like you're being edgy for the sake of edgy or something, right? That's not what these people are doing. And what actually ends up happening is someone recognizes the mask for what it is. A mask of a cultist, a member of an organization, a dark organization. And you are approached. That, you know what, you're standing on the side, waiting, your arm is all pins and needles as the metal skin is starting to go away, and you're regaining feeling in your right arm, and you're leaning against a wall, and somebody very cool, movie style, just kind of stands next to you, kicks one leg up against the wall and leans back against their shoulders, and they're what do you think you're doing?
I am resting.
Is there something I should know about, or are you just being...
I am just trying to lure our next sacrifice. If you could just walk away from me and meet me in the corner.
Nice.
And we'll chat a little more about this.
Okay, yeah, you try and lure them into a secluded area to get information out of them. Okay, that's great. Roll, I think this is going to be charisma, probably. Unless you can pitch me something else.
No, I can't.
Okay, so try charisma.
Oof. Man, if I got a 12.
Okay, so you fail. So this person looks at you and they're just we don't have another victim at this party. What are you talking about?
I can tell him that they got away.
Oh, okay, you're going to lie like that?
Yeah.
I think he looks at you and he just says, like, we're not dealing with victims. We're finding people to create art to bring him here.
The last one got away, and we need another one.
Okay, roll charisma with advantage.
12. 5. Which ties.
Is a failure.
Ugh,
Sorry.
I'm such a failure.
This person is suspicious, does not believe you, and I don't know if you're going to...
All right.
Okay, well, no, you know what?
No, I'm going to transmutate... I realize this, and I want to transmutate his mouth.
Like what happened to you?
Yes.
Okay.
I got the idea from him. And
Okay.
now I want to do it to him.
So this is going to be 3 cards because it is an offensive spell.
Oh, boy. I'm going to use a charisma.
Okay. A kismet. So you're down to...
Sorry, yeah.
4? Okay. 3 of swords. Knight of cups. 4 of cups. So you're good. You actually zip his mouth shut. And he's like... and he looks at you and you can see he's about to get violent. He's about to get physical. However, before we go to combat, you told him this person got away. He looked at you surprised. The information that you kind of need here is... They just told you they're recruiting people to create things to bring someone here. I think what you need is where to go.
Gotcha.
Roll me, you know what? You're down to 4 Kismet. Roll Kismet for me to see if you are lucky or not right now.
No.
Okay. Figured worth a shot. This person's about to get a little violent.
Can I throw some holy water at him?
Do you... you can. Do you just gonna... pocket holy water. Do you want to do that?
Yeah, I want to see if it, like,
Okay.
does anything.
Roll a dex check. Roll a dex check.
No.
Oh my gosh. You fish it out of your pocket, you throw it on his face, and he's like... I'm gonna let this... Oh my gosh, baby. You are rolling terribly. Maybe switch out that D12.
Okay.
You are rolling terribly. I think that maybe... This you spray water all over this face. You still have a mask on. You look ridiculous.
Well, I was just thinking, I need to figure out where I gotta go, right?
Yeah.
So I probably should unzip his lips. But wait, before I do that, maybe I'm going to reshape reality.
Oh, that's one of your spells, right?
Yeah. I'm gonna turn his clothes into a chair.
I'm sorry. I don't even understand what that means.
Like his clothes are just gonna morph into like a chair and he's just gonna be sitting.
Okay. I thought you meant like it was gonna be like a chair with like a human head on it.
No.
Okay. I don't know how this works, but like, you're gonna like cement his
Yeah.
clothes into a fixed position. Gotcha. I will not let this isn't
or a wall. Or into the wall.
Okay.
Maybe he reshape reality, like put him into the wall.
this probably qualifies as a 3-card flip, but I'm gonna make it a 2-card flip. So, are you spending any Kismet?
No.
Ace of Pentacles. Or is that 10 of Wands?
Correct.
So you're good. You stop him to the wall, and then you unzip his mouth.
And I take off the mask. And I say, where are they?
Okay.
Where are the pieces?
Ooh, that's a good question. This could be another...
And I'm getting angry. So I have a fire finger, a lighter, and I'm holding it right in front of his nose.
Okay. You are so funny. Like, that is not... Okay.
What? That's my, like, vice.
Oh, starting a fire?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't had you lose any
Maybe he has
life
like a
or
beard.
mind points
Maybe he has
yet.
like a big beard,
That's a
and
good-
I'm like starting it on fire.
He has a big beard? Where did this go?
No, a big beard.
Okay,
And just like
You singe his slightly long beard. There you go. And he's like, come on, what the hell's wrong with you? You ask, where are the pieces? You don't think this person's going to give you any information. This is either going to be a charisma check or you're going to need to cast a spell. You do now have the ability of this succubus. And I think that, you know what? Can you roll a constitution check for me to see if you can resist this succubus heart trying to...
No.
You can roll with advantage because you did unlock it.
No.
The succubus is like, let me have him. Let me at him. I'll get you what you want. I will get you what you want.
Do I like transmutate it into its chest?
No,
like the heart.
Well, you can do that.
Like I like push it into like
his chest.
His chest.
Well, like no, I was just thinking like.
Isn't it a heart?
Yeah, I imagine it's like a small little petrified heart.
Yeah.
My thought is you can use this as magic now.
Oh.
You don't have to like put it in him.
Oh.
That's defeats the purpose. Then it's gone forever. This is your cult accessory you've had forever, and you're just gonna put it in someone else's heart.
No. Touche.
I think this succubus just really wants to take from people. That's what it is. And like the hint I'm giving you here is that it's leading you down a slippery slope. Do you let it?
Yeah, I mean, I have to. I just got...
Spend 1 mind point, and we're going to cast a spell here for this succubus to get the information you want out of him. And I think that, again, like, very Matrix rave scene, right? Like, you're like... to everyone else at the party, you know, you've cemented this person to the wall. But I think that maybe you're like leaning up against the wall, and to everybody else it just looks like two people about to like make out against a wall at a party, right?
Yeah, it's like Wicked Dark in there, and like the lights are like flashing.
Yeah. And you're like up close, and like you've got like your fire, and he's like squirming. But to everyone else, again, they don't have their third eye open. They don't know what's going on here. This is a spell from the succubus heart, and she's going to get you the information you want. Do you want to spend a kismet?
No.
The Page of Pentacles, the 9 of Swords.
I didn't know you were doing 3.
Temperance. Do you want to spend one?
No.
So it's just a complication. So that's what it is the mind point, is the complication, right? Like it's draining you because this was not you doing this magic. You don't actually have control over this magic. So and temperance is such a wild one to pick too, because it's supposed to be about moderation and not indulging, right? And so I think your fire flickers, but I think that, again, this person kind of just like, it's almost like this deep, like like you can like hear them like exhaling, fighting every second of it, where they're just like, tunnels under the mall, they go to the State House, and then he just kind of like faints. There are tunnels in the Providence Place Mall that lead underground to the State House.
Are there really?
I don't think so, but I'm saying there are now.
Okay.
If I'm right, who knows? We still got to watch that documentary about the people who lived in the Providence Place Mall for years or months or whatever.
In the garage, yeah. All right. Well, I guess I'm gonna go to those tunnels.
Okay. Well, the mall is closed at this point. So how are you getting it?
Through the garage.
Okay, yeah, you can easily go in through the garage. But the doors to the mall itself are locked. So do you have any spells?
Security, and
you're gonna go through security?
Yeah, I have a
badge.
COP badge, and I say this is, and I take a piece of paper and I transmutate into a
warrant.
Yeah.
Or like a official looking document.
Yeah, saying like bring me to.
Okay, I think it's a 1 drop. Do you want to?
Sure.
You regain a kismet at the end of that scene. The King of Wands. So you're good, and the King of Wands is perfect. Oh, there was a complication at that. Oh, it was the mind point, right? So the King of Wands gets you in. It is authority, right? That is exactly what it is. You walk in, you're like, I got this piece of paper. You slam it up against like the clear wall. If you actually ever go to the mall and you walk in through the garages, you can actually see like near where people leave. They have like little windows and into their security offices, and you just slam it up against the wall. And a guy who's like on late night like looks up at you, surprised anybody's even there, and he's like, oh. And I think that it's just enough like authority that he doesn't even ask questions, and he just lets you in. And he's like, where do you need to go? And you ask him about some back tunnels, and he says like, oh yeah. He goes like, all the ones up top are, you know, for getting goods and stuff into the stores without people seeing and without it having to go through like the main thoroughfare. But like, he says like, yeah, there are ones underground too. He was like, what do you got to do down there?
I am just checking for rats. You know how it goes.
Is that seriously what you're saying? You're just pest control? That's so funny.
They're chewing the wires.
Okay, sure. And this security officer's just like, oh, okay. You don't have like any equipment on you. Sure, do your thing.
He doesn't question me.
Nope, he doesn't question you. And yeah, he's like, I'm just gonna get back to my my little thing and watch TV all night. And so you get down there and you're going through these tunnels.
Orb of light.
Orb of light as you go down there. I had a lot of like little things written to just be like, drop these little hints about what's going on, but like you have really gone real left field on me.
I'm sorry.
So now you're just like, okay, somebody got killed. She made something. I don't know what's going on. Yeah, that didn't go well. So you have no idea what this girl did to earn this or what happened. But you go down into these tunnels and you're not sure where it's leading you. You haven't called your handler, so you're just going in alone.
Should I do that?
I
have no service in the tunnels.
Now that you're in the tunnels, you have no service. Absolutely. Perfect. You start walking through this underground infrastructure, and why don't you roll me an intelligence check to, 1, navigate your way through, and 2, figure out what you see. You have intelligence on, you have advantage on this because you're ready.
I pass.
Okay.
I got 3. You
start to walk by. At first you're walking through parking garage looking cement rebar infrastructure, nothing new. And then it gets a little nicer in a weird way. You know where you parked, where you went in, and you know you're heading in the direction of the State House, north of the mall. You're underground, and then all of a sudden there's like a door, and you see like this security checkpoint on it. But this door is much nicer than like the garage infrastructure of the mall. How are you going to get by this?
Well, my old job, I used to sculpt things, and I can see how they sculpted this area.
You sculpted ice blocks, but sure, continue.
And I'm able to figure out how to unlock the door, not just by using magic, but by my job.
How did ice sculpting help you learn how to lockpick?
Mechanisms.
Also, this is like I think this is like a state of the art modern.
Fine, I just use unlock spell.
Okay, sorry, I just can't imagine ice sculptors being like, also, all really good lockpicks. You don't have to roll. This is a spell. Do you want to spend a kismet?
No.
Should have. The moon.
Should have.
The moon and the magician. This is a straight up failure.
I can't get in.
You're so good at this game, Lynn. You try.
I mean, what happens when we don't have any more kismet?
I don't know. Actually, it's let's check.
It stressed me out to use it. I don't know why.
You regain it. Most people don't regain it, and you get to regain it every turn. Let's see here. Nothing. It doesn't say anything. Doesn't say anything about when you lose kismet.
Can I use my lucky rabbit's foot?
You can use your lucky rabbit's foot to resist the. Actually, this is a failure, and it says does not work. There is no misfire. Your unlock spell just simply doesn't work. You do need to find another way around this. So it literally just doesn't work.
Okay, I transmutate.
Oh, there we go.
What kind of door is it?
Let's say it's a metal door. Like it's like a storm door, like a.
I transmutate it into a spider's web.
Oh, I love that. Okay, I think that's a 2 card flip.
And then I catch it on fire.
Sure. But,
Okay.
Yeah. Do you want to spend any kismet?
Yes, I'm gonna spend 2.
Okay, well, good, because there's 1 and 2 major arcana. That's insane. We flipped 4 in a row. We have been shuffling this deck, I promise. 4 major arcana in a row, but you spend 2, which means you offset both of those. So it seems to resist it, actually, and that's the thing is, your unlock spell, resisted by this. Your transmutate spell is being resisted by this. This door is not a metal door, not a security door, not a panic room door like the mundane people believe it is. This is an arcanely protected. And as soon as you start to unravel it and try and transmute it, you actually see that there's like very intricate glyphs and runes and like a spell circle drawn into the metal of this door. But you are able to undo it through your kismet, through fate, and you unravel it into spiderweb silk that burns away, and you can walk through. And on the other side of this door, it's not concrete and rebar and parking garage aesthetics. It is state-of-the-art.
Aliens.
Deep ones. It is like you see glass walls that continue on down a long hallway, and to your left and right you can see through the glass into rooms that are so varyingly different but all equally unsettling to sanity testing. You see a room with a bed and surgical equipment, but the blood on the floor isn't red or even the dark black of a stain of old human blood. It's something else entirely.
Aliens.
You see another room with monitors and TV screens, but they are all showing static. But when you walk by, you notice that almost textures in the static move and watch you. You see a room with just a hole in it. The ground is just a hole that goes down. It just draws you in. It's unfathomably deep. It's just uncomfortable looking into this abyss. There's another room with so many lights on that they're all angled in a way that you'd think there's not a single shadow possible in this room, and yet in one corner you can just see a black mask just slowly wiggling in a corner of the walls and ceiling, and it looks like it's in pain. You continue on and see there's a cross section in one of the rooms where you can almost see like somebody dug into this room into the side of a subterranean river, and it's flowing through this room. Like there's like a metal, or there's like a glass tube that's like moving water through, and you just see a strange, scaly, tentacled figure swim by. And then they swim back and they look at you. But you don't stop, you just keep walking. And you make your way further and further until you are under the Rhode Island State House. You find yourself in a cavernous room that appears to be the inverse of our state's dome on top of our State House building. You are standing on platforms, and it drops down below you. And in the center of all of those platforms is a statue that looks familiar to you, Lynn. It is the golden statue on top of our State House. He's holding like, I think, what is it, like a spear and like an anchor? Is that what it is?
Does he have a name?
Does he have a name? I probably should know that. Let's take a look. Rhode Island State House statue. The Independent Man. Oh, 11 feet tall. Easily over 1,000 pounds. Gold-plated bronze statue. Except this is not a gold and bronze statue. This is like a dark marble statue. But there is a gold mask on the face. They are holding, similarly, an anchor on the ground, like in their hand, but they are also robed, and something about them is incredibly off-putting.
Does it look like it's alive?
Do you say anything as you approach? Or do anything? Do you want to inspect it?
I want to use Mage Hand and get the mask off its face.
That's a wonderful... I love that idea. Okay, that's going to be a one-card
I want
flip.
another mask. Let's make a collection.
Yeah, you don't get too close, but you conjure your wizard hand, and it moves forward through space to try and touch the face of this statue. Not spending a kismet?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. The Four of Pentacles, you are safe. As your wizard hand approaches it, the statue turns its head, and your wizard hand just dissipates. And you hear a voice. You are the one who killed my cultist, my follower.
What, the guy who wore this mask?
That is not yours. Look upon mine and know.
It's mine now.
You're mine now. This city is mine now. Providence is yellow. We're going into combat, Lynn.
It ain't yellow.
Roll a dex check as this thing is about to go nuts on you. Okay, so it's going to go first, and I flip a wands. So I made this, boss. Technically, it should not surprise anybody. I literally made this. This is Hastur, the king in yellow, a living statue of it. So it's not the actual physical body of Hastur coming from, whatever dimension Hastur is in, but it is a statue that is allowing him to inhabit it. And so for wands, I wrote Chance from Carcosa. Roll a charisma save, Lynn.
Ooh, I passed.
You actually succeed as you hear chants, and it's saying the King of Providence, the true king, not Buddy Cianci, stirs. Because he was the Prince of Providence. It's a joke. All right, so but the King of Providence, and it says the King of Providence stirs. Your turn. You're up.
Okay. I would like to transmutate his anchor into a snake.
Interesting. Okay. That's going to attack him?
Yeah.
Okay, sure. And you actually see that this statue does begin slowly moving. Okay. I think this is a 2. It's an offensive spell, but it's not immediately attacking unless you want it to attack him.
Yeah, I wanted to attack him like his feet or something.
Constrict him?
Yeah.
All right, so...
Or take his mask off.
So
constrict him is good.
This will be 3. Do you want to spend a kismet?
Yeah, might as well.
Okay. The 5 of Wands.
Got one left.
The 6 of Pentacles. And the Ace of Cups. It succeeds and works as this anchor turns into a giant snake. It's heavy, marble anchor just kind of flops down into this coiling mass. And you actually see that this statue is in what will eventually be like a functioning fountain. And there's actually like living wood that come up and like become the spear that he's holding. And as soon as this snake starts wrapping around it, it like snaps that wood and starts like cracking some of the marble. But it's not enough yet. So it is up. And I flip the Lovers, which is a major arcana. So this is brutal. So for major arcana.
For who? You or me?
For you.
Ugh.
Well, I mean, he's a boss. He's literally like...
Wait, can I do the Lucky's rabbit foot?
That's for misfires or... I guess the effects of a spell. Actually, yeah, it says here... Ooh, interesting. You know what? If you use your Lucky Rabbit Foot, I'll give you advantage on your charisma save because it's going to be a charisma save.
Yeah.
So use your Lucky Rabbit's Foot, and it says the dome below you the mirror of the dome above opens, and at the bottom it opens like an eye, and it's just a yellow eye stares up at you, and it stares.
We're watching too much Supernatural.
The yellow eye gazes upon the city. This is roll against your kismet to avoid notice. Oh, so it's actually kismet. So you have to roll twice and get a 1. You have to get a 1.
I have to get a 1?
You have to get a 1.
I got 11. I got 2 1s.
Okay, well, you fail. Roll 2d6. You're going to roll on the magical mayhem table.
Man. I got a 14.
14 or 41. Storm clouds flood the nearby area, or you slip forward in time. An important clue is obtained, but a mind point is lost. Oh, I love that one. A yellow eye from Carcosa stares upon you. The real eye of Hastur, the king in yellow, from his other realm of Carcosa, looks at you. And it's enough to give you information. All you have to do is break this statue, and you'll be fine. But what is the clue? What is the important clue that you determine?
The weakness.
A weakness of some kind? I don't have a weakness really in mind, so you're gonna have to tell me something. What's a very Rhode Island weakness?
What are we talking about? Cannolis?
That's a you weakness. How about, do you want to roll for me on a different table to get an idea?
Yeah, I love that.
Okay, so you see forward an important clue is obtained. Why don't you roll me another D66? And this is going to be either on the occult accessories or arcane focus tables. Something that's going to give an idea about the magic that we're going to be using.
46.
46 or 64. So, ooh, this works. There's a blinged out golden scepter. Maybe he's holding that. Or there's also another one that might work, is a locked portable tabernacle filled with profane holy trinkets.
That
one? So somewhere else in this room, you see that there are things that need to be used to fully bring Hastur into this statue and create it to be the living flesh for their dark king in yellow, this eldritch abomination, this god that they want to bring to Providence. So if you can destroy those, you have a second way of preventing this from happening.
Okay.
So what's your next action?
I am going to turn the snake now into heavy rock or metal or something. I want to crush it.
Okay.
Now that it's wrapped around it,
okay.
I'm going to...
Oh, just turn it into metal?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so it sounds like another reshape reality. I think this is going to be another 3d6. You don't have to roll, but you can leave that if you want. Do you want to spend your last kismet?
Yes.
That is a Knight of Wands, a Two of Wands, and the King of Swords. So you actually managed to do this. And I think that the unintended benefit of this is by turning it into metal, not only are you crushing it, right? And it is breaking more of this. The weight of it is actually, you hear the groan of like the scaffolding of like the floating architecture that is holding this thing up in the middle of like this reverse
I-95
dome.
River.
Yeah, it's the 195 bridge. It
had its weakness.
Unsafe, yeah, and yet we still use it so much every day. Okay, so you succeed on that, and that's going to further break this thing down. Both of you are kind of struggling to finish this off, but this eye just is looking at you, and this statue is trying to writhe out of it. We're going to flip the King of Cups. The water at the base of the statue is beginning to spill out from the weight of the metal that you've done, and it's going to whip out at you. We need a Constitution save to avoid disadvantage on your next roll. You succeed.
I succeed.
Wow, and you only have a 5 in Constitution, so that's a big success. And you take the hit. So go ahead and lose 1 life point as you take a whip of water, but it's not enough as you get 1 more action. What are you going to do to finish this thing off? Can you finish this? Can you finish this effigy, this statue to the king in yellow, and break it so he does not come to rule Providence?
I see the box of trinkets across the room and I fireball it.
Perfect. As this
ashes to ashes.
Oh, good. That's the name of the spell that we came up with for your fire spell.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry you never got to use your ice sculpting chainsaw craziness, but go ahead and fireball that. I think that you don't have to roll. Do you want to... Oh, you spent your last kismet.
I got
Here
none.
goes. The Queen of Wands, so far safe. The Two of Swords, so no matter what you get it. And... No!
Are you kidding me? Dude, I can't.
Death!
No.
Oh my
No.
gosh. On death?
No.
That's the second death. The spell does not work and a misfire occurs. Lynn, roll 2d6. Or
No. This makes me so mad. Are you kidding me? 55.
It can only be 55. Your brain grows and you now have a grotesque, oversized noggin, but you can read minds.
That's a great misfire.
You go to burn the profane holy trinkets of Haster, and the fireball goes towards it, but it does not. It does not burn what needs to be burned. He's still up, and he flips pentacles. The gleaming golden mask smiles at you. Perfect. You failed to burn his arcane profane trinkets. Make an intelligence check. This is a big one, Lynn.
I succeed.
You succeed. Good, because otherwise you'd have lost your last mind point and not been able to cast spells. He smiles at you and says, "You can't stop me. They sent an apprentice to stop the king." What will you do?
I'm going to use this water and transmutate it into a chainsaw and chop those trinkets in half. Or
there
chop
it
his
is.
head, one or
We
the other.
just said that. I thought the last one was going to be what you needed. I love it. You freeze the ice.
And I get
you're just
advantage.
like, yeah, you
it's my
absolutely get
skill.
advantage. Well, you don't need to. You know what? Actually, yeah, roll. This is going to be a two-parter. We're going to flip 2 cards for the ice.
Okay.
And then we're going to use Dex to carve this. It's 1 major arcana. We did flip the sun, so there's a complication, but it's not the end of the world. The spell still works with 1. So you freeze all of that ice around him, and you pull out a chainsaw from somewhere, I guess.
No, I transmutate the water
You transmutate
that's
the water.
rising
into an ice chainsaw.
Yeah.
Roll Dex. Give advantage. So stressed.
No.
This is fine.
It could just be.
You succeeded on the
It could
spell.
just be a turd.
You succeed. Yeah, that's what it is. Is you succeeded on the spell to create a chainsaw, and then you start hacking into this
I was
statue.
working on it forever. I thought it was going to be something beautiful.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
just-
and instead, like as you cut into it, the effects of Carcosa just warp it, and it becomes terrible. And that's gonna be enough to destroy the statue to the point where it can no longer be used. But then you stand back and look at your ice sculpture that you've made, and it just looks terrible.
It's so bad.
It's so bad. And the pieces of the golden mask that it was wearing still somehow feel like they're watching you. But you, unknown to everyone else in the city, out at Waterfire, out at a rave party in a warehouse, enjoying their nights, doing whatever, have no idea that you just saved the city of Providence. All for a $300 weekly paycheck.
Get it, Penny?
Now, Penny Black, you have successfully completed
Does my phone ring?
Yes, this is exactly when bzz, bzz, your phone rings and your handler is on the line. What do you say?
It's taken care of. And I hang up.
And you hang up.
Yeah.
That's it. You get to choose. So normally, if you were playing this game, you can choose 2 advancements at the end of this. Do you want a pay raise?
Yeah, I do.
You get an extra $100 a week,
Nice.
and you can gain an acquaintance. You can increase one of your attributes by 1. You can heal an injury or soothe a madness, or you can see if you've mastered any of your spells. So that's pretty cool. Oh, that's what the little boxes next to your spells are. Once you've cast it 10 times, you can try and basically master it, and that lets you discard any major arcana. So
Nice.
there is
I like
level
that.
up ability.
That's
So
cool.
you can actually play this game more than just a one shot. And I do think that the level up things are really cool because like gaining acquaintances just basically gets you more chances to like succeed at certain things or call in people to help with certain checks and stuff like that. So that was Dick Wizards and a lot of Providence lore. But not Cthulhu Providence lore, just like literally modern Providence lore. So
Go get yourself a coffee milk.
yeah, I don't want to say buy stuff off of a big internet distribution, whatever. But if you can find a way, get yourself some Autocrat coffee syrup, put it in your milk, and enjoy a taste of Rhode Island. It's the best.
With a wiener on the side.
Yeah, well, you're not going to be able to like get a wiener across the world, but I do hope you do get a wiener and get Dick Wizards.
Wow.
This is a very phallic episode, but thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for joining, Lynn. Lynn, thank you for buying me this zine. And we'll definitely do some more Dick Wizards in the future. I think we have some friends who would love a one shot of this and to play more of this. All right, I'll do my little outro thing. Thank you for listening. If you like what I'm doing, find me on the social medias at Rene Plays Games Pod. If you want, you can reach out to me directly at RainyPlaysGamesPod@gmail.com or join the DMs After Dark Discord and come hang out in the Rainy Plays Games channel where I'm mostly talking about things that I got going on, games that are coming in, things I want to do, polling people, questions, etc. And yeah, if you want to be on an episode of Perspective Checks, reach out. If you really, really, really like what I'm doing, please rate and review this on your podcatcher of choice. It helps the algorithm put me in people's feeds more and stuff like that, so they find me more organically, or just share word of mouth. I would love if you told somebody who you think might like this about it. If you're insanely generous, I do have a Ko-fi page where you can make a one-time or recurring donations that just help cover the cost of podcast hosting and the transcription software and the video software that I use for interviews and stuff like that. No pressure, but it just helps every little bit. And yeah, until next time. I don't want to just say get a wiener again. Lynn, until next time.
Until next time, Dells.
Dell's Frozen Lemonade. You guys got everybody enjoy your taste of Rhode Island. Bye.
Good night.